Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. Well, I was just out here in my West Herb garden harvesting some herbs for tea, and I'm going to be showing you how I make tea from fresh herbs. And before I go in, I'll just show you real quick how some of these gardens are going. My strawberries out here on the south side of the big room, the big X dance and martial arts room, are coming along nicely. This is the just best growing spot for them, is this little area right here. And then my marshmallow along here is coming along really well. And I'll take you to the very front of the house, which is right over here. And you can see my Japanese maple. These are just pretty things that have been here for years. I may take them out someday and put more herbs and stuff in there. But my sage out here is doing good. Got a marshmallow back there coming up and peppermint all over the place. Strawberries don't like this little area quite so well because this area stays very shaded. But the sage doesn't seem to mind getting a little bit of shade. And then over there is some comfrey, some potatoes coming up, rhubarb. And then the bare part of that section is where I've got some zucchini planted. That's, you know, I just planted it. I see calendula starting to come up. There's, oh, right there is one. And right there next to it is another one. The strawberries I transplanted out here are doing so-so. We'll see. My golden oregano is starting to really do good out here now. And I'm hoping to see it kind of take over this whole side. Last year, if you watched my old golden oregano video, you would have noticed that I had much bigger patches, but because they got transplanted, they're a little bit smaller, but it will spread quickly. So maybe by the end of summer, these should be 2 to 3 times the size they are now. Got another feverfew over there. And so that's how things are coming along here. Now let's go ahead and go in the house and we'll get this tea made. Do a little video on the way back in so you can see how things are coming along. Oh, my horseradish is going crazy right back there. And that catnip's coming along quite nicely. I just harvested a bunch off of it yesterday and threw a bunch in the chickens' nesting boxes. And I almost forgot, my apple tree, my big one out front, it's got blossoms all over it. So today is, just so you can have a reference point, because the time I put my videos up, by the time I publish them, it's usually much later. Today is May 9th. Just so you can get an idea where we're at this time of year. Now, after I brought the herbs in, I just left them in the basket, sprayed it down with my apple orange vinegar that I just strained off the other day, let them sit for several minutes, and then I rinsed them off with cool water and I set them on the towel here to drain. Now over here I've got the sage. That was one of the other things in the basket. I'm not using this for tea. I have made sage tea. As much as I love sage for seasoning all kinds of foods, it's not my favorite for tea, but it is extremely good for you. So if you like the flavor of it in a tea, try it in different blends and see what you think. What I've got here are my fresh peppermint and lavender leaves, and you can see how much is here. All right, I'm going to use that much, sometimes more, in a pot this size, and this is maybe about 4 cups of tea is what that's going to give me. And then here are the herbs from the lavender peppermint tea or lavender mint, because it's not just peppermint, that I made last night. And so what I'll do with these is I'll just compost them. I typically just throw them on top of my blueberries or other potted plants that I have out here on the deck just because it's easy, but I always just throw them on top of the soil and let it break down. That's how I do most of my composting anyway. And then all these, I will just shove them directly in the pot. I'm not using a tea bag like I do with my dried herbs. I just shove them all in there. And then I'm going to take my filtered rainwater and just pour right over the top of the herbs until I got it full all the way. I mean, it's just a super easy process, though some people might not realize how easy it is just to take fresh herbs and turn them into an herbal infusion. Then what I'll do is I'll take my teapot and I'll either put it on a sunny day, like right now it's nice enough, we're getting solar power. I'll put it on my hot plate on a low heat and just let it simmer for quite a while. I usually go 15 minutes to a half an hour, and a lot of people might think that's a lot. Now some people may prefer to just pour hot water over their herbs and let them sit. Me, I like to get a really good infusion. It's almost more like a decoction the way I do it, because I want to get as much into that water as I can and get a good strong flavor and just all the benefits that I'm getting from the herbs. And then if I decide I want just a little bit more, then I'll put in a pinch or two of my mixed spice blend. And I do have a video on what's in this and how I make it, and I'll go ahead and link to that right up here if I remember. And that's it. And then I'll have a couple of cups of that in the evening before I go to bed. And then I'll usually use whatever's left over in the morning. I'll just heat it up again and use it to make my jet fueled latte blend. And if you haven't seen that and you're curious about that, I'll go ahead and link to that video right up there. Okay, and that's it. That's how I make my herbal teas, or at least one way. So today's herbal tea is the mint and lavender leaf. Very good. It's one of my new favorite herbal teas. And then if you like this and like to see some other blends that I'm doing and how I do it, then let me know in comments below, and through the summer I'll show you how I make some more different herbal tea blends as I go. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something new. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.